Hey guys, hope you're having a nice day, and let's go ahead and play Falstad at Warhead Junction. Great, so we have kind of lucked out with a map for our Falstad, but we didn't really with our team comps, because it's mirrors, like Varian, Abyssur, Stukov. Well, that's gonna be great. Also, they have Cassia counters, Zeratul counters Falstad kind of decently, and Varian to like some point. Kind of decently, so that can be a little bit difficult. But yeah, the biggest strength of Falstad is probably his ability to be a global hero, kind of like the Haka, except he's like, I want to say that the Haka is better at being a global hero because the Haka's Brush Stalker is almost instant, whereas Falstad needs to cast his flight and then he needs to actually fly to the spot, whereas the Haka burrows almost instantly, but obviously there is a downside to that because the Haka does in fact need to have a bush to brush stalker into, whereas Falstad can fly wherever he wants to. He doesn't even need to have a vision of the area, and that was actually a I don't know what I saw. They had the Illidan Abyssur. I should have immediately realized the threat of that. I thought that maybe they'll be distracted with Stukov and Varian a little bit, so they won't really focus me that much. Also, I should have immediately used my barrel for disengage. I was trying to save it to jump over the wall, because otherwise Illidan would keep chasing me. So I messed that up completely. Yeah, Abyssur Illidan is like extremely scary. You should never mess with that. But yeah, the benefits of Falstad's flight is that you can fly it absolutely anywhere, like there are no restrictions. Actually, you can't fly, like for example on Haunted Mines, you can't really fly from like inside of the mine, so the outside, but everything else, it works out really well. Okay, now there is Abyssur. Abyssur did go for regeneration build, well that's gonna be annoying. Our Abyssur also went to regen build, so eventually, oh, except he's using his symbiotes on minions instead. Oh well, I was kind of hoping that he would heal me up there, but he instead used it on a minion. So we kind of missed out on some healing, but you can't really blame him for that, I guess. He tried to soak the lane, okay. So the build I'm always using on Falstad these days is kind of a hybrid build. At level 1 you go for Seasoned Marksman for that consistent damage output. Helps you with killing, I don't know, anything that is close enough for you to attack. And it scales really well for Falstad because Falstad's attack speed is also kind of decent. Like how much is it? It's 1.43 attacks per second, so Seasoned Marksman has actually really good value for Falstad. Like for example, Illidan's attack speed is 1.1, I think. Illidan's attack speed is actually around 1.8 attacks per second, which makes him one of the fastest attack speed heroes in the game. It actually makes no sense that I brought him up as a comparison here, so I'm sorry about that. So Falstad obviously gains more benefits from Seasoned Marksman right there. So that's kind of great. I probably should not have taken that much damage there, but I think it's kind of worth it. Since we're gonna go for hammer gains, even versus Illidan, even versus the fact that Illidan will be evading some of our attacks, that consistent healing we get can be really helpful. Alternatively, if they had Zeratul, right, instead of Illidan, or if they had Illidan and Zeratul, I would have definitely went for Static Shield, because without it, you're gonna be dead like almost instantly. So obviously you want to mitigate that as much as possible. Right, your hammer gains won't get the benefits like for your, like they won't sustain you fast enough in a fight, right? Not as fast as you actually need it. So like Static Shield might be a good survivability option versus those heavy dive heroes, melee assassins, and that's kind of what Falstad is very vulnerable to. If Genji, Illidan or Zeratul all decide, you know what, let's just kill this Falstad, if you don't have a Mighty Gust, you probably just die right there. And even if you have Mighty Gust, more often than not, it just won't be enough anyways. So it's kind of hard to survive as Falstad. Like as much as you have kind of a decent health pool for an assassin, and you have ways, you have a little bit of mobility. it's just simply not enough. But for this game, maybe I will go for secret weapon. I kind of want to try it. I actually like did it a couple of times and it works surprisingly well. But I will just stick to my boomerang. It's just so good. Like that burst damage that you get, like it's just it's undeniable value, right? Sometimes you just need that slight burst of damage to quickly finish somebody off or to kill a mule like that. And that's, oh no, this is bad. This was a bad play. I don't see anybody on the map. I haven't seen anybody on the minimap and I still decided to bring my health to that threshold. If there was an Illidan somewhere there looking to kill me, there was absolutely no way I would have survived that, so that was my bad. But yeah, talking about boomerang, sometimes you want that slight burst of damage to finish somebody off. Also, it kind of makes your hammerang a little bit better, because now, if you miss it, even if you miss hammerang, you still can activate boomerang for that area of effect damage, because it's slightly wider than the boomerang's actual, hammerang's actual like skill shot. So that's kind of helpful. Wow, they got a lot of nukes from this. This is kind of scary. Illidan is bottom. Okay, they are nuking bottom. That's fine. We should... I don't know, I kind of feel like we should not have nuked middle. It's kind of a useless lane to nuke more often than not. Like you want to be nuking boss lanes, right? More... it opens up more win conditions. Okay, Illidan is coming mid, so I'm gonna disengage. I just saw him on the minimap. Also, I'm gonna fly bottom to deal with the... Oh, actually, we can do this instead. Like, look at our damage output though. Like, that's the power of boomerang plus Zeratul plus some of our auto attack season marksman damage. Really damn good. Again, oh my god, it's so good. Like, Falstad's burst is just amazing. Just amazing. Versus Cassia, I might actually want to go for... Actually, I'm gonna go for Hinterland Blast. I was thinking about the Mighty Gust so that we can disengage Cassia whenever we need to. But with the Hinterland Blast, because Cassia will have her trait active all the time, right? Her damage... Physical damage mitigation trait, physical armor trait. So getting that spell power damage can be helpful. That said, versus Stukov and Illidan, it's kind of scary to go for. Illidan can have his hunt cancel our Hinterland Blast. Also, Stukov can silence us. You know what? I have to go Gust now. I made a mistake, so I have to go Gust. You never really want to be using like Gust to save yourself. Like whenever you do that, it means that you made a horrible mistake, and your team will pay for it because you waste your like a very good heroic that can help out your whole team just to save yourself. It's like using a Void Prison as Zeratul to try and save yourself. It's never worth it. Absolutely never worth it. You know what sucks? What really sucks is that our Abyssur didn't go for Mule actually. And you know what also sucks? Flying in like that into Varian and Illidan. Luckily, their Varian went for Twin Blades instead of the... what's his face? Instead of the Taunt. If they had Taunt there, I would have been dead. Also, we keep nuking their forts and Abyssur keeps muling them. That's not how we... That's not... No, we don't need... We can't really do that. That's really, really bad, in fact. We have to finish off the fort. Otherwise, we are just wasting nukes for the mule. Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. Our Abyssur didn't go for the...
Symbiotic link established.
Didn't go for the mule. That's really bad for us. Okay, I'm flying here. Well, that was fun. You just wasted all of our abilities. Good job. That's all. But yeah, she should not have done that. That was a misplay. Oh my god, can you leave me alone, minions? There we go. So, going for Flow Rider I think would be a complete waste of time. Because of their team comp, right? Illidan would always just stay next to me. So I will go for Giant Killer. Even versus Illidan, even the fact that they don't really have a dedicated tank. I think that like that percentage damage it's always worth it. Versus the squishiest heroes possible. It's still damage, right? And it's good damage. I'm gonna try to push this in while they are kind of enemies are kind of distracted. So I'm gonna try to push this in as hard as possible. I'm going to get
Nuclear launch.
a fountain, get both towers. That can be good. Okay, I'm gonna fly out of here now. Bye.
Good kill there.
Okay, good things are happening. I'm gonna go back now. Oh, Twin Blades Variant is killing everyone. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, alternatively at level 13 you want to go for Flow Rider, probably. That way you get, I mean, double the abilities, right? You can boomerang twice as often, you can barrel roll quite often if you want like reposition mid-fight versus ranged heroes that aren't really attacking you. Like getting better advantageous position and whatnot. Can be very, very helpful. But we went for Giant Killer with our kind of attack focus build. Like since we went for Seasoned Marksman and we will get that attack speed bonus after we stack it up. Getting Giant Killer is definitely worth it. And also getting that level 20 Nexus Frenzy really enables this build. So that's gonna be great. Okay, we have a Void Prison, right? Zeratul should just drop it like right there. There we go. And that's an Illidan. Oh no, I messed up. But Stukov is dead. Too bad Twin Blades is killing everything. Too good we have the... Oh no, that was a bit... Oh my bad. Well, I tried to survive. Does he have a taunt in 7 seconds? Not quite. Maybe focusing Zarya not the best idea? Oh wow, good job. Good job. Abyssur. Abyssur really like enabling Zeratul there. If they didn't have Abyssur there, Zeratul trying to focus down Zarya would have been his demise. But because of Abyssur's damage, they actually had the spell power damage to kill off Zarya. Not Zarya, Cassia. Oh my, was I saying Zarya this whole time? It's Cassia. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. At level 16 we're gonna go for Aerie Gusts. Just enhances your passive movement speed and reduces like the activation time if you're Tailwind, because the way it works is if you get attacked you lose your movement speed bonus. So with Aerie Gusts you can kind of you can make more usage of your trait while in a team fight, right? Because in team fights you will inevitably be taking some damage here and there, and reducing the activation time from 6 to 3 seconds can be really helpful. Can be really helpful. We really need to stop nuking forts and not killing them. Okay, just focus on the fort. There we go. There we go. Now we need to kill top fort.
Sequences augmented.
There we go. That's how you get the value from your nuke. Because, like, we wasted so many nukes on mules. Because one mule heals up more than one nuke worth of damage, right? So just using them like that and not killing the forts was actually really bad for us. We should have been, like, I don't know, almost like saving up our nukes for better. Why did this Illidan kill himself like that? That made so little sense. Are they like feeding at this point? That really weirds me out. Also, don't really use your barrel aggressively. Like right there, that was like the correct play because Varian was super close to dying, and he was literally one auto attack from dying, right? So we got instant value from our engagement and the damage. But usually you don't really want to be barrel rolling into fights, because that's your only survivability tool, and you really don't want to be wasting it on like you don't really want to be wasting it in the beginning of the fight. We have Gust. It's never risky. So kind of the way you want to be standing, you want to be like attacking from here. Or I can even do this. Actually, I don't have that. With Nexus Frenzy at level 20, you can actually stand there, attack the boss, and then gust everyone here. So that you can get a guaranteed boss. And also, yeah. I mean, doing bosses with Falstad is always fun, because of the mighty Gust. I'm not gonna use my Gust to try and save Zeratul there, even though maybe I should have. Now I will use it. Okay, Zeratul traps them, but I don't have mana. I need a little bit. Also, Giant Killer enables you to do some damage to Cassia, which is also great. Maybe she should not have used her E there. I think this is game right here. We can actually just end it. With the boss pressure, I guess I should have grabbed the nuke and then flown here to try and end, but I think this is fine. I think this should be fine. So like level 20, you kind of don't want to be picking up the talent right away. Like usually, like Epic Mount is a really good, like for example, whenever you hit level 20, you will just probably try to pick up Epic Mount instantly. Kind of don't do it, just wait to see what happens, because if you're in this scenario, having Wind Tunnel on Nexus Frenzy is always a lot more helpful than having Epic Mount, right? So never really pick up Epic Mount unless you actually like need it at that point in the game. That's kind of like a little bit of a mistake you can be doing as Falstad, and it can be fixed. Just don't pick Epic Mount automatically, right? Just wait for it. You don't need it like right away. So yeah, Wind Tunnel would have been really helpful there, because if they tried to retaliate, if they tried to do like Abyssal played really well. If they tried to retaliate and like started kind of either killing us or pressuring us to not killing the core, we could have been we would have used our Gust, and instead of just pushing everyone away and slowing them down for a couple of seconds, it would actually be consistently pushing the enemies away, effectively increasing the duration and like effectively stunning everybody for 5 seconds. Which would be like, that's a huge time. When you are rushing a core, that's like the difference between leaving the core at 1% and actually killing it, right? So Wind Tunnel is a good like game securing talent, right? Also, alternatively, Nexus Frenzy can really help you with the damage, with the raw damage output onto the core itself, which is good, and it increases your survivability a little bit because of that attack range. So it's harder for the enemy team to stop you from attacking the core, and obviously attack speed, good stuff. Actually, really like Nexus Frenzy on Falstad, because when you go for this build, as more attack speed you get, the more effective you are. You deal more percentage damage, you deal more pure damage, you deal more physical damage, and you heal yourself. What's not to like about it, right? And again, range is very powerful. Like I feel like on all of the like auto attack heroes you have in the game, you almost always just have to go for range, because it's just that powerful. It enhances your damage output kind of indirectly, because you no longer need to move around as much as you do without that extra attack speed. Like you can attack priority targets easier, and that enhances your DPS. Like whereas without that extra range, you might be using some of your auto attack timings onto the tank, for example, so that you don't waste the DPS. But that's not like the perfect scenario, right? You always want to be hitting somebody either squishier or more not important, but like easier to kill, or like somebody who will panic when dealt damage. Like for example, when you do damage to archers, he says, okay, I'm gonna take it and hopefully my team will do something. But when you do damage to Keltas, he will just try to escape for the most part. At least that's... he can try to turn around and maybe like kill your whole team by stunning all of you and flame striking all of you, but for the most part, they will try to keep themselves alive by running away. And that can like buy your team a window to kill them. That's such a weird rant, but... I hope it makes sense, right? I hope it makes sense. Honestly, this is probably like the best build for Falstad right now. I try from time to time to go for the spell power focus build, like with the stacking damage on your BOOMerang. It never really seems worth it. Even versus their team, like they had Illidan with the evasion, they had Cassia, who would mitigate physical damage and who would blind us so that we won't be able to do damage to her whole team. It's still worth it. I think it's still better than doing those BOOMerang stacks, because first of all, it's really hard to stack up. It kind of forces you to do things that you don't really want to be doing. Like, if you are solo laning versus Alarak and you went for that stacking talent, you will just lose the lane because of that. Because every time you would try to BOOMerang, Alarak would either lightning surge you, which would slowly kill you, or he would even combo you and you will just die on the spot, so that's not great. Also, yeah, level 1 talent bribe. Wingman. Don't go for Wingman if you are aiming for damage. Like, whenever you go for that bribe talent, it should always be because of the bribe, not because of that stacking damage that it offers. The damage bonus is a good bonus, but it's never like a consistent damage boost for your character. So probably don't really try the lightning rod build. It can work sometimes. It can work sometimes, like versus heroes like archers or let's say butcher, people who would like try to stick around like in the front lines for as long as possible. But people like Zeratul, like Illidan, people who kind of disengage and re-engage very often, you just lose that lightning rod and it's a wasted cooldown and it takes very long to recharge, so it's for the most part you like just won't get the value from it, right? In most scenarios, when you lightning rod somebody, they would die on like the 3rd or 4th hit of your lightning rod. So upgrading it, I don't remember which talent here is the amount of hits lightning rod gets upgraded. I think it might be 7 or 13. I think that upgrade is just not worth it, because it never. Usually either you die before you get to that 5th, 6th, 7th hit of your lightning rod, or the enemy dies. So it doesn't really matter for the most part. But I guess you can use it on a tank, on a very survivable tank, and get this value that way, but that's not how you want to be using it. You want to like burst down priority targets rather than just having that random damage output. But hey, I think we played well. We did some mistakes. I really overextended a couple of times. That should not have happened. Overall, that was fun. We actually dealt less damage than Stuka. Okay, to be fair, I wasn't fighting for the most of the game, right? I was split pushing, I was soaking, I was trying to like get nukes and whatnot. So like we did well. We didn't die. We got some kills. Our damage, let's say that our damage was very effective, or Stuka was just, I don't know what he was doing. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.